Are we recording?
We are. What did you want to say to the audience?
Hey, I wanted to say if you have some input on this country, on the United States of America, what do you like about it? What do you love about it? Put it in the comments. If we have room for improvement, where do we need to focus some attention to get something better going? Put that in the comments. We'd like to hear from you. Welcome to the Olive Branch, the podcast where two siblings from a small southern town in the heart of the Bible Belt, the Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama, try to bridge the gap between left and right America.
Or at least avoid strangling each other while trying. I'm Audra. I'm your left-wing host. I'm a wife. I'm intentionally childless. I'm liberal, atheist, socialist, communist, and unemployed, but currently a house elf for my mother and my husband.
A house elf?
Yeah, that's from Harry Potter.
Okay. And I'm Eric, your right-wing host, a husband, father, conservative, born-again Christian, and proud engine nerd with multiple engineering degrees. I've spent over 2 decades leading adult Sunday school, life groups, small groups, connecting people to God, teaching from God's holy word.
And I've spent over 2 decades as a dungeon master, guiding heroes through the mystical realms of Dungeons and Dragons. And I have numerous credit hours at community colleges.
Hey, that counts. So, yeah, between the preacher and the heathen,
the Bible and the battle map,
we've got absolutely no qualifications to be sharing political opinions with the masses.
But we're going to do it anyway.
Let's do this already.
Yay!
So what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about America.
It is approaching 4th of July weekend. So, and it's also the 250th birthday of our nation. So something to acknowledge and reflect and I'll say cherish and celebrate.
Have you planned on when you want to watch Hamilton?
I have not, but that's probably something to do.
I actually had it on my to-do list to watch it before this episode so I could sit there and think about things, and just while they talk about different things, like it would be like my background noise to keep me thinking of things to bring up today.
Yeah. Quick story. I guess it's a couple of years ago now. My sister Audra contacted me. It's when the hype of all Hamilton was out.
It's like 2021, I think.
And it's been a minute.
Because I was late to the train, and Hamilton got on Disney Plus at the very beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And my boss told me in like September of that year, and I listened to it a few times. So it may have been like November or December that I'm like, Eric, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I know you do theater. You're going to need to watch this.
I've got some history doing some community theater, so I like that. My wife and I love Broadway shows. We've been to several. But Audra said, hey, have you seen Hamilton? No, you've got to see Hamilton. Watch Hamilton. And so I did have Disney Plus. So I did take the homework assignment. I put it up, and it was just too much. Right out of the gate, they're like rapping songs, and just I couldn't understand it. It was like, what is this mess? I just could not get into it.
I will say, anyone who's never seen it, watch it the first time and with subtitles, and just read it the first time. It's so much information. It's very exposition heavy.
Yeah, it's rapid fire. A lot going on.
But then you got to watch it a second time once you kind of have digested it and mulled it over. And then you can appreciate the actual song and dance and artistry and costumes.
Yeah.
Because you're not like, what did you say? What was that? What was that?
So I told her, hey, I tried. She contacted me a week or so later. Did you watch it? I tried, couldn't get through it, turned it off. She said, unacceptable. I am bringing my husband and we're coming to your house. You are going to feed me dinner. And we will sit down and watch Hamilton together. And you will watch all of it in its entirety. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. She comes over. We do push through. We watch it. And as it actually, after you get past those few scenes early on, it actually slows down a little bit. There's a lot more where you can absorb. They build the characters pretty decent. And then it actually has an impressive storyline and some decent music. Mm-hmm. So at the very end, I think you asked me for a grade, and I said, it's probably a solid B minus, like, or maybe even a full just B. It actually, recovered. And then I think you were a hair dissatisfied with that answer, but we talked more about it. And then the next day, I was teleworking full time because it was still, in the
Dark Ages.
in the dark ages of recovering from COVID. And um, I was just started contemplating, oh, this scene, oh, that's something other this, and George Washington, and oh, that's interesting. So I just like did a little research, a little Google, a little YouTube, and then I would watch the scene and then the making of, and then just more information, and then I'll listen to some of the songs, and they're like, man, that is really catchy. Oh, and that does reflect the hardship that he was going through during that time. And bottom line, within another week, in my house speakers throughout the entire house, I was playing the entire Hamilton soundtrack back to back, constantly singing all the songs. And yeah, I was kind of hooked.
4 out of 5 of my siblings love it.
I've since taken my wife to see the Broadway show in Memphis, and it was fantastic. We loved it. So it's really good. What's your favorite song in all of it?
I would say my favorite song and I guess character or dynamic is Angelica Schuyler, and I like Satisfied. That's a very amazing song, and the artistry of how they reverse stuff and the
Oh
rewind.
yes. Oh yeah, that is very cool how they did that.
That's probably the first scene where it goes from, hey, we're dudes, we're trying to do our thing and make a life for ourselves in this new world, and like it's kind of just setting up the premise and the scenery, and that's like the first thing where it's like I'm an individual person with a character and a narrative, and that's something I want, that's something I can't have, this is something I should do. I'm making a decision to do the right thing over what I want. And it was like the first like interpersonal really deep thing of someone said that wasn't just I want to be in a war so I can have money and people know my name. I like drinking. Like before it was just like dudes and
Yeah.
explaining dude logic.
Probably my favorite song is it's been a minute since I've uh listened to all this. What's the song with his wife?
Oh, where she's like, let it burn?
Well, that's actually I was going to say was my second. That is intense and sad, like peak sadness, but so beautiful and sad at the same time. That's definitely powerful. But the first one where she says I do or something.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, that where she first meets him.
Yeah.
That was really good. I love that song.
I also like Theodosia, where Aaron Burr
Yes.
and Hamilton are talking about their newborn kids.
Yeah. But something that just resonates with me is when George Washington says he's going to step down, and then that song, what's it called? Uh,
Oh, it's
it,
a song.
there's a song, and it's really good. He had spent decades serving our country, being in the military, being president, and at his last stages, they want him to keep going and keep leading.
Hmm.
But he's like, hey, I'm going to step down. I'm going to give.
Like the Bible says, my own vine and fig tree.
Yeah. He actually quotes scripture in there but says he wants to give somebody else a turn, start a precedence of the people entrusting other people in power, not just a person, but more the country.
Yeah.
And how we're doing it all together. And he wants to step down and enjoy this beautiful land that they've made.
Hmm.
So really cool. It's really cool.
That was really good.
Yeah.
If you like anything that's remotely related to theater or art,
Yeah.
you should watch Hamilton. And the first time you watch it, because I had the same experience, I watched it. Huh, that was a lot. Wow. Okay. No, professionals made that. I just don't know how I feel about it yet. And then, like a week or two later, I was talking to my boss at the time, and she was like, oh, I downloaded the album and I listened to it all the time. And I was like, that's interesting. There's probably a song or two I would like to download. And then I ended up buying the whole album and then just listened to it.
Yeah.
And then I loved
it's catchy.
It builds on you because it's
really
so
does.
much. It's so much overload.
Yeah. So Who's the author that starred as Hamilton?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
He is really pretty darn gifted. I've heard him get ridiculed that he's not the best singer. I thought he was fine. I
He
thought he did great.
he's still Broadway acceptable, but like I think I told you that. Like I made
Yeah.
that joke. Someone pointed it out to me. As far as Broadway acting, stage presence, and talent, he's practically the worst of the cast.
Yeah.
He's still Broadway level. But if you're looking at who should be the star,
Yeah.
like
When that's the name of the show.
yeah, like the other two do, like all the guys on there have so much charisma and so much. Like I feel like he is maybe on par with the guy that played Madison. But everyone else has like so much like
Yeah.
personality, and he's just a little bit more flat and a little bit less
Yeah.
compelling.
Yeah.
But
But
he's the creator, so
the main point I was going to emphasize and highlight is he wrote all this.
Mhm.
He like wrote all the songs.
he now lives at Disney and writes songs for Disney.
One of the interesting things I learned looking at how it was made and everything is they booked the show. They sold tickets. They had a start date. And he hadn't even finished writing the play.
He didn't know how it was going to end.
It was like right before the ending, right before the launch of the show. He didn't even have the ending completed, and he was trying to figure out, how do I do this? And he's like, I have to finish this because we're going to start the show. I can't remember how close it was, but it was like either week of or something. And that's just amazing to me that he went all the way to the wire. But man, really brought it together.
Crazy talented.
Yeah, yeah. To take something as boring as history like this, with standing up a government and war, and turning it into a Broadway show. I don't know. It's one thing to have something like Les Mis, which is similar, I guess, but it's fictional. You know, this is actual history.
Yeah.
And trying to translate that into a beautiful storyline where it's compelling and it's heart wrenching, and it just goes to show you that these are real people that had real lives. They had a personal life. It wasn't just government. It was, hey, I have a wife, I have kids, I have drama, I have hardship, struggles in interpersonal relationships. And they put all that into the show. And well done.
Kudos.
Kudos. Okay.
I remember you said it made you feel very patriotic because you have worked with and dealt with and interpersonal, like because we're in the Rocket City, so like 50% of the people in the Rocket City either are military or know someone who's military. Mm-hmm. And if you're not that, you're an engineer.
Or if not necessarily military, government, civil service, or defense contractors that support all those endeavors. Yeah. So it's all connected somehow. So yeah, definitely. So interesting. But today we're talking about America, talking about our 250th anniversary. And I think what you proposed is, well, how about we come to the table with 3 things that we like and 3 things that we dislike. So the first thing that I was just going to point out is just very basic, obvious, that I like, is America is still the pinnacle of what a country should be. People love it. People are still striving to come here, get here, live their best life. That's why we have all these immigration issues, is because people are fleeing other countries to get their butt here so they can live their best life. And it's true. There's so much freedom. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. It is the land of opportunity. Whatever you want to do, whatever career, it can be blue collar, it can be white collar. If you want an education, there's universities galore that teach all kinds of things, offer all kinds of degrees, all kinds of certificates, offer all kinds of scholarships. You can learn whatever you want to learn. you can use that degree or that certification or whatever you got trained in to go into some vocation and just do it. You can make a lot of money. You can use your skills to contribute and serve your community. You can do it. You can do it all. It's just a flourishing economy of commerce
Mm-hmm.
that anyone can benefit from, and everybody knows it. And so they're coming here and doing it. Uh, a side note, like we just had, so the World Cup soccer has been going on. And have you seen any of the videos or heard much about that?
I don't do sports ball.
She don't do sports ball. Anyway, there's this football that you kick. It's called the soccer ball. But there's these videos of essentially foreigners coming here, visiting, going to World Cup, and then they're doing selfie videos, just going around talking about America. That they're saying what they've heard of America doesn't really fit what they're witnessing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to these restaurants and they're just having the time of their life. I saw some actually last night. There's a guy, he's like, look at this park. Look at this. It's clean. There's no trash here. Look, there's no graffiti on this bench here. Look at these women. These women are walking around with big purses. Big purses and jewelry, unescorted. Unescorted. How is this? And it's just it just makes me feel like we take so many things for granted. They were, food was a big topic.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one guy talking about he got this big, like 32-ounce soda. It's just a big fountain drink. He's at a restaurant and he's like, look at this. I get free refills with this. And his friend's like, yeah, but you paid for it. He goes, I paid for it once. Just once. I can get 1,000 of these. He goes, yeah, but you're not going to buy, you're not going to drink 1,000 of these. He goes, you don't know me. And then he's like, just trying to slurp it down. He's like, dude, slow down. It's like, and he's in pain trying to finish it. And then right then the waitress walks up and goes, would you like another refill? Yes, please. Like he's in heaven. But that's just kind of silly, talking about refills. But there was food, they're like in Texas and they're getting these Texas plates of barbecue and meat and it's just Texas sized plates, and they're
Mm-hmm.
just in awe and just like, oh, this is melting in their mouth. And I don't know, it was just kind of refreshing, encouraging to see people that aren't used to it coming and appreciating it. And it makes me feel like, you know what, we take this for granted. So it's something to celebrate and enjoy and appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my first one.
That's your first positive?
That's my first positive.
For the record, I didn't do my own assignment. I have like a few things I've
This was your idea.
I'm not good. I have ADHD. I have 2 modes. I will spend like 3 days fully researching and getting a bunch of articles and things, or I will wing it. So
okay, we'll wing it right now. I bet you come up with something good.
I already have 4 out of 6, so we'll see if I get the other 2 before we end.
I think I only did two of each as well. So, but that's probably sufficient.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We basically use most of this episode as a Hamilton advertisement. So.
Yeah. Do we get an endorsement? Do we get any take on the ticket sales or Spotify listens?
Last thing about Hamilton. Have you heard about people saying Leslie Odom Jr.'s character, Aaron Burr, like the whole thing is him being in purgatory?
No.
They talk about he basically, when he died, he's in like his own level of purgatory, and he's just replaying the play over and over of what Hamilton was doing, how he responded, how he hyper-focused on it, and how it ended his own political career because he couldn't quit focusing. Because it's from his point of view.
Wow.
And he's always bad-mouthing Hamilton to the camera.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so like hearing that and then watching it another time or listening to it, I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Okay.
Last thing.
Until we do another.
Yeah, until we bring it back up. We both are theater geeks a little bit.
A little bit.
My first negative.
Oh, you got to start out negative.
Well, you went
Sure,
positive. I was balancing it.
surely the left must start out with negative. Continue. Continue.
I hate Trump. No,
That's a surprise.
no. I hate the Electoral College.
Ooh, interesting.
It's something we have that other countries don't. That's what I was trying to do. Is like, what do we have that we do differently enough to where it's American and not a form of democracy that everyone does or whatever?
Yeah.
Electoral college is trash.
Well, that's interesting. It seems like just full taxi cab confession. It's been a minute since I looked into the electoral college,
Me too.
and I was trying to understand the process. And it's something about that you get so many electoral votes per, I guess, based on the population. So it's kind of representatives, and then their um, I guess the protocol is for them to unanimously reflect, I guess, the vote of that state. But I would like. It's been a minute since I looked at it, and even I'll tell you straight up, when I looked at it, I was like, I'm not sure I really understand that. And then I was trying to understand the benefits of that versus just going by pure popular vote. Is
Mhm.
that what you're kind of suggesting, that we should just do pure popular vote?
Yeah, and I'll even do well that's part of my next thing, so I'll leave that separate. But yeah, I think you should just do popular vote.
Okay, and you mean by state, not by country.
I wouldn't mind country.
That's interesting. I would like to let's put that in the queue for us to do a deep dive on electoral college and look at the pros and cons of that. Our founding fathers stood it up. They probably stood it up for good reason. I'm sure they did.
They didn't trust farmers and all these uneducated people. They needed someone they picked with college education to look at all the results and be like, you know what they meant? They
But
meant Ted.
at the same time, I agree to that. I agree with that to some
I
degree.
agree with it to some degree too.
There's no way the average bear, I'll say, I'm supposedly an educated man. I don't know the ins and outs and all the details of how to run a country. I may know how to run my household, but to run a country and how much to invest, whether it's in Department of War versus other things, that's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare, it's complicated. So anyway, well, let's definitely put that in the queue and try to tackle that. We
Um,
need to at least get smart on it and understand it better. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
understood it at one point, but I also don't make new memories as an adult, so I've blurred a lot of it out.
Well, what else do you want to say about that before we go to another?
We can go to something positive.
Well, I just did a positive. You did a negative. You want me to do another positive or?
I'll swap it over and I'll do positive. I like the formation of our country was based on freedom from a tyrannical government.
Okay.
And there's a lot of laws. I've done like some criminal justice classes and some psychology classes. I watch true crime, like, there's going to be a test on it tomorrow. And a lot of our laws are based on the worst thing that could happen is the government could be persecuting you. So before we stop any criminal, we have to make sure the government's not a criminal. Or to quote Nietzsche, like I remembered a while back, um, like, be careful of fighting monsters lest you become one. So the government can't break into your house and do stuff. They have to have a warrant to get.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like all those like safety guards
Yeah.
to keep the powers that be from being able to, like, well, I don't like Ted because he looked at my wife funny and I'm going to mess up his weekend.
Yeah.
No, you gotta talk to another adult, get a judge to sign a warrant, show them the evidence, have two other adults sign off on it before you can just start harassing people.
Yeah. Totally agree. It's fantastic. Go America. All right, so I will just stay positive. And right now, I'll say the second thing I want to voice. I'm a little concerned you're not going to like this response. I do. I'm actually a little nervous to say
You
this,
can tell me anything. I
but
will think less of you.
I just know it is. you're going to have, there's a lot of people that have the opposite feeling of this, but I do think Trump and his administration and what they're bringing to the table is a breath of fresh air.
I would like to pause just for a second, then we'll go back to what you're saying because I need
Yeah.
to support and love you.
Okay.
And I do.
Okay.
I'm wearing a shirt I bought from Etsy. It says, I'm just mad as hell because I loved this place, established in 1776.
Oh.
That is a quote from Taylor Swift from her song So Long London. And it's talking about she moved to like London or whatever, dated a guy, and then they had a home together. They were kind of playing house, and this was like her life for a while.
Yeah.
But then when it ended, it's like, I really like this. This whole thing, I was connected to it, but now I have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And so that quote's about like a romantic song or whatever. But I saw they had a bunch of America shirts that said that, and I was like, but that's how I feel. And I honestly almost didn't buy it because I'm very weird about when to push my opinions on people. And I feel like walking in with something that's kind of a negative is like confrontational. And like I wouldn't want my sister-in-law to be like, "Oh, okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do now." Like I don't know if you're mad at me. Do I need to address it? Like whatever. So I feel like it's almost confrontational to wear something like that, but it definitely encapsulates. So I went ahead and I bought it off Etsy, and
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the thing for you guys because
Yeah.
I told the guy I would do it.
And that's what I'm it's a weird paradox cuz I get that and I see that and I'm actually sensitive to that. And I'm sad for you. I don't want you to feel that way. It is ironic to me how we can both experience the same thing happening in our country and one be encouraged and the other discouraged. It's a weird paradox. I'll say this, the things that are happening or the movement, the agenda is so good, encouraging, refreshing. It's that I do I will say the execution of those things definitely have room for improvement or you know have concern for ridicule of how they were carried out. But stuff like immigration reform is a good thing. The border control, that's a good thing. That and it doesn't mean you hate people. It doesn't mean you hate a certain race. It doesn't mean you hate foreigners. It means that there's a process to accept people into your country in a vetted way so that they are value added to your community and not endangering the communities with a certain threat, with former convicted felons or people with a nefarious agenda. So, but we've talked about
Mm,
all that. That's a separate topic. But border control, immigration reform, standing strong with the laws of our land, because they're executing that based off of existing law that's been law for decades. It's not anything new, and you know what's kind of ironic is if you hear stuff about immigration or border control, all the left was quoting this for decades. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton,
mm,
it's not anything new. Trump is just actually doing something about it. He's not talking, he's doing something. But that's just one thing. Other stuff is really dissolving all the woke agenda, the DEI stuff, dissolving all that and then focusing more on merit based. It's irregardless of your race, your religion, your age, your sexuality. We don't care about that. What are you bringing to the table? Are you qualified? Focusing on that to me frees things up dramatically and excels in performance wherever that's put in place. So that's good. What else? Or probably the main thing that I love is MAHA. So Make America Healthy Again. That what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is bringing to the table with his revamping the CDC and the FDA and helping with like our food and trying to get all the toxins out of our food and evaluating all the ingredients, stuff that's outlawed in other countries. looking specifically at root cause of chronic ailments instead of just us being in a band-aid type mentality of, hey, this is the prescription you need. Instead of looking at it from that standpoint, look at it on the front end. How can we prevent these diseases? What's causing this? And food is an it's an obvious culprit because you can see how our food has changed over the last century, and then chronic ailment has just ramped up as that food has changed. The introduction of like seed oils and all these weird ingredients that are synthetic, man-made, that are just a bunch of weird chemicals that FDA has approved. It's I don't know, I think this is going to be so good for our nation, but also looking in pharmaceuticals and trying to make, there are some pharmaceuticals that are necessary, but trying to get cost controls on that.
Mm-hmm.
um, all that I think is just so great and encouraging for our nation. So
Good. What's your first
negative.
yeah.
Well, one, this is my pushback. I was going to tell you. I think I told her before the show. It's like, I don't think you're going to like what I have to say. Uh, one, I don't like coming up with negatives. I don't like it. You've probably seen previous episodes where she does these weird hypotheticals and wants me to address some weird negative hypothetical, and I don't like doing that. In general, I think it's just bad. It's a bad uh, either habit or process, because you can find the bad in anything. It's just like Pollyanna said.
If your boss told you make this metal disc fly, you can't be like, sorry, boss, metal doesn't fly. Your job is to figure out how to get the thing,
Yeah.
how to look at it, see it from a different angle, find the nuances, and how can I manipulate that to be the X.
Yeah. I agree, and we'll probably do this drill anyway. But let me just express my viewpoint.
Okay.
Because one thing, like, have we ever talked about Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People?
I'm loosely familiar with it. We've never talked about it.
So, in short, I've ever since I graduated college, any leadership course I've been a part of, they always said at the beginning, they'll quote that book. They say that it's a must read. You got to read it. And I always took that down as an action item
Mm-hmm.
to do. I did that for a decade, never read it. Finally read it. I was so blown away. I started reading that every year for like a decade. Now I do it every 2 or 3 years. But it is so fascinating. It's I don't like the title. The title sounds manipulative. How to win friends and influence people. It sounds like manipulation. It's not. It's actually practices, to me, practical ways to realize how to love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it is. But anyway, I brought all this up. This is a long intro too. There's one chapter in there that I just disagreed with. When I read it, I disagreed with it. I disagreed with it for many years, but I think I'm finally coming around to it. And it said this: don't ever correct somebody. Don't ever correct them. And I thought that was stupid. Now there's a whole chapter on it. It can unpack it, but the my pushback immediately was, if you don't know it's broke, how are you going to fix it? It doesn't make sense. And I've always been a little different. I would say I take correction halfway well, or pretty darn well, different than most people. And because of that, because I took correction well, I just assumed other people took correction well.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I've really paid attention to any correction I've given people, it's not received well.
Yeah.
People usually dig in. They dig in, and it really, they use that confrontation as justification to not like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the book says is to focus on their strengths and then just work on their strengths and help push them in the right direction rather than correcting a flaw. And that's that's something. But I'm a mechanical engineer, so uh, to if you relate to mechanics, and this may help. I see correcting people is like pushing on a rope. It doesn't really work. The function doesn't. Where a rope doesn't have like a compression
Mm-hmm.
uh, stress. It's only tensile. It's only by pulling. You have to pull on the rope, and you pull on the rope by complimenting and trying to acknowledge and praise what they're doing right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you do that, they will focus their energy more on doing that, and what they're messing up on it'll actually taper off over time,
Mm-hmm.
is what I've seen. So anyway, all that to say, if you're looking at political figures, if we're talking like coming through the lens of politics,
Mm-hmm.
if you're looking for negatives, you will find it. They're humans. It's there. I will compare it to like with marriage. The deal is my wife may say I'm a good husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you could ask her, you could talk to her, and there's all kinds of good things that she may say I'm a good husband. We just had Father's Day. We had a great time. She would say I'm a great father to her kids. I'm like, okay. But the deal is, if you just keep it real, if you pressed her, hey, does Eric do anything wrong? Well, of course, he's human.
Yeah.
Well, what does he do wrong? Okay, write it down. How often does he do this? Do you correct him on this? How is that received? The deal is, if my wife corrected me verbally, staunchly, sternly, uh, every time I did something wrong, how would that change our dynamic? You know,
Yeah.
it would get there'd be a lot of attention there. I would get to where I would probably be concerned on our next interaction. Am I going to get corrected again? Is that all she does is look at my flaws? Um, so uh, the deal is, there's potential for a happy marriage even in a marriage that's not perfect. But there's also, you can train wreck it too, just by focusing on legitimate problems. So you got to be careful where you look, because where you look, that's where you're going. So I do think there's a lot of I'll say legitimate concern with the Trump administration,
Mm-hmm.
that people would do so much better if they just backed off and stopped nitpicking and stopped throwing darts. If they would just truly look at the positives, they would be amazed how life is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that's very hard to adopt if you're a Trump hater, but it's probably impossible, um, or close to impossible. But that is my encouragement.
I don't want to be a stick in the mud. I don't know if you told me a negative about America.
Not yet. I'm about to.
Oh my gosh. That was like 30 minutes, Eric.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the negative. It's our society, but not limited to America. I don't think it's probably worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Is people are just trolls. I think with social media, it's gotten to where, oh, I don't like something, I can just spew some venom, and it's dehumanized
Mm-hmm.
uh, people, that they don't acknowledge that's a human being on the other end. They just throw out venom, they throw out hate, and they feel justified. They actually feel virtuous by that social media attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that, instead of feeling guilty or shame or any type of conviction about it, like they did something wrong, planting negativity into the world, they feel justified. They feel like they did something good, and it's backwards.
I feel like I have a very similar feeling, but I will say I'll go ahead and give that to you now. I do
Yeah.
agree with being very anti troll or just people who are just bashing to bash.
Yeah.
And I've even joked whenever people like talk about Donald Trump, like, oh, he's eating a Diet Coke and a cheeseburger from McDonald's, dummy. And I'm like, his poor diet isn't his character flaws. Like, everyone I know has a poor diet, or,
Yeah.
everyone I know that has a poor diet isn't a bad person. Like,
Yeah.
that's not,
Yeah.
there are real problems. That's not one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks funny. No, he's an adult that looks how he wants to look. It's 2026.
Yeah.
I don't care about his weight or his weird hair or his self tanner.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Yeah. Um,
So I don't like it when people are bashing to bash, but I do like when people kind of stand up to something in like an intelligent way.
yeah.
I don't like doxing, but I don't mind when people online have gotten like a really well thought out rebuttal or counter position. Like I love stuff like that, but
Yeah.
I don't like trolls.
Right. But that negative is really the fuel for why I wanted to launch this podcast is I knew I needed to get better at that
Mm-hmm.
because I was slipping into that and I didn't like it. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was right. So I was like, well, I need to be the change I want to see. So I'm like, well, how do you talk about these complex things? I don't know how to talk about them. Well, you got to practice it. You got to give it. You got to step up to the plate and give it your best shot. And I think I am crazy blessed to have you as my sister because you are so easy to talk to about these complicated matters. So hopefully this is an example for others to address this with patience, with grace, with love, to speak truth in love, not speak truth because you love to be right, because people are more important than politics,
Mm-hmm.
and you're wanting to not only say that but believe that and
Yeah.
practice that. So yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I'm anti troll. And you gave us a positive after I did a positive. Then you did a negative, but that sets me up for another negative. All right.
we, we we can play ready golf. Whatever you got. If you want to be positive or negative, there's no rule on the sequence here.
One of the things I dislike um is the two-party system and our money in politics. I feel like if you got rid of the money in politics and made lobbying the blatant illegal action it is,
Yeah.
I think most of our problems would be solved overnight.
Maybe so. That's definitely something we need to understand.
But
What are the existing bounds that can be practiced? For us to have people in Congress, people that are senators, that hey, they started this. They had like $12 to their name, and now they have $12 million. How?
and they'll talk to you. I want to say it was AOC when she first like really got into her position and stuff. She's like, it's a nightmare. I wanted to do so many good things. I have all these good intentions. Literally, the first day you start, you get a bill. And they say you have to raise $300,000 by this date. Here's a list of lobbyists. So if you're already rich, you could probably just, pull it out of your savings or whatever. But for the most part, and she's like, and you go into the hallway of, such a bad American. I couldn't tell you what position she's in. Congress?
I forget her
I think it's
position.
Congress. I don't think she's a senator. Congress.
Yeah, I don't think she's a senator.
But when you go into the hallway of Congress, she like showed on a video camera there were people just sitting with laptops and tablets and different things and notebooks and briefcases ready to do their spiel to whatever congressman would listen to them. And they're just lobbyists. And I was like, that's wild. That it's just like a pyramid scheme once you're inside.
Okay. It says Alexandria Ocasio. Is that how you say it? Ocasio Cortez. AOC, AOC has served as the U.S. representative for New York's 14th congressional district since taking office since January 3rd, 2019. So,
She's a representative.
yeah, representing parts of the Bronx and Queens in the U.S. House of Representatives, she is a member of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, she did. I believe it was her. I don't make memories. I could be blurring this with someone else. I'm pretty confident it was her. And they did like a video of the hallway showing the lobbyist. And so until you basically do your homework of meeting the financial burden of keeping your position, then you can't really do anything.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these promises and arrangements with lobbyists that also prevent you from doing anything you wanted to do.
What I'd like us to do is study that, understand the bounds of that, because I'm sure there's limitations to some degree. I assume there are, but find out what makes sense, because there's probably some benefit to that, and I want to highlight that, but then also talk about the cons. But then I'd like us to
How to improve it.
Yeah. What's the change? What's a change instead of just saying that's stupid? Come back with what's an alternative way that would actually benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I
let's
agree.
look at that. We got to fix America. We got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's already great, but we can be better. We can be better.
I'm now on my fandom of Interview with the Vampire third season, the Vampire Lestat. You should watch it if you're okay with very homoerotic vampire story, but it's so well done. It's amazing. But one of the opening lines for this season is, I was spending, another decade in a country that was making itself great again. Because they were talking about the second term. But I was like, oh, that's cute. That's funny. But he just said it with like such droll, like just.
If I had to say another negative thing, it bothers me about our national debt being so stupid, out of control.
Mm-hmm.
It is just cray. So, and it's just out of control. And every time they you hear them talk about the budget, they talk about the surplus. And the deal is what they're saying is, hey, we're trying to reduce the spending. We agreed on a budget that is spending more than we're taking in, and then they're talking about decreasing that delta. That that's a win. It should be well below what they're spending, and it should be how much to eat into their debt.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's how you run a household. I don't look at all my expenses and then agree to spend more than I make when I also have huge debt. No, I've got to spend I, I've got to spend less than I'm making so that delta there can then go to pay down the debt. It's just there's like no fiscal responsibility.
I don't like spreading conspiracy theories until I vet them. This is literally a knee jerk hunch kind of thing that I came to when listening to someone talk about something about the national debt like maybe a year or two ago. I wonder if you look at all the paper trails and all the debt that we have with other nations, is this just like mafia kickbacks that are set in place and other countries are getting the kickback because of relationships and established ties that are already there? And then people come in trying to fix a national debt and it's like, oh no, we just pay our mob boss this amount of money because they have ties with this person and they will cut off these resources or whatever. So, like, are we just in debt to the local mob to keep us safe? And then once you get in power, you realize that you're fine with it?
I'm sure there's a lot of arrangements behind the scenes that maybe are not as nefarious or twisted as that, but still in that category that yeah, the common man will just never know about. Yeah.
Oh, we have the internet.
Okay,
Um, I will say, the other part of what I was saying earlier that I kind of skipped over, and then my last thing that I have written down is positive.
let's
But
let's end with a positive.
let me do.
I don't have anything else.
I'm gonna do my last jab. And
What?
I mentioned it
You're
earlier.
jabbing with a positive?
No, I'm jabbing. I gotta elaborate on my jab that I almost did earlier, but I didn't elaborate on. And then I'll do my positive.
That's easy to follow. Continue.
All right. Um, I hate our two-party system.
Right.
Let me tell you what I think we should do. Every position, you should have 5 people, and then you rank them. I don't care how many are on whatever party. I don't like that when I go to vote in Alabama, they're like, "Are you red or blue?" And then based on what you say, you're allowed to vote for certain things, but not for other things.
Hmm.
Whereas I would rather be able to vote for, if it's all Republican options, I'd rather be able to vote for my preferred Republican.
Hmm.
But I can't even do that. So if you.
Now, are you talking about like making it where the people vote on the cabinet, like instead of president elected positions, like like
Oh, I don't mind that. I'm talking about just literally anything you vote for.
okay,
It's red or blue. There's only 2 choices at best.
yeah.
And then it goes all one way or all the other way.
So you're saying don't essentially have the primaries or where they down select to down to one representative red and blue
Yeah.
for each red and blue. You're saying
I think
just go ahead and have
5 candidates.
okay,
Some may be red, some may be blue, some may be purple, some may be gray. Who knows?
and then just
And then I get to look at all 5 candidates and I say, I like the communist socialist the best. But my second favorite is the gay libertarian. And then I'm going to go, I'm not even going to put Tuberville on the list, but whatever. Like then if everybody picked it and like one person is everybody's second choice, they should be it. Because me getting my favorite that you hate and vice versa.
mm-hmm.
But if there's like Joe Smith over here that's like fun and just doing the right thing and wanting to do the budget and we all kind of like him, I think he should win, but you can't do that with A or B.
Yeah. Yeah.
But ranked voting, I want to say Australia does ranked voting.
Okay. How does it work out for them? What's the
Basically, if I put everybody in order, they see everybody's rank. So, and this is me guessing.
Well, I'm just saying, have they surveyed the population to go? Did it shake out as with pleasing results?
Mm-hmm. It's better received than ours.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm getting at. I wonder. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. All right, maybe we'll have to incorporate that.
Something I said that I love about America that my last boss did not like that I said it. They didn't like that it was kind of true. And they were really like almost having like an existential crisis about my take on reality. I really like that America somehow, for some reason, is like the world's cultural epicenter. So even though we're just a melting pot, we didn't do anything like we just are reacting to other stuff and we've only been around a few hundred years. 250 be exact.
Yeah.
And there's not like Roman history or like Chinese history, like things that go back generations and decades. And we're just like, no, we got different clothes now, but we don't really have our clothes. We have all the clothes we liked from other people that we've kind of melded into our fashion in general, and then that fluctuates every 10 years. But a lot of other countries learn English because a lot of things in Hollywood, the blockbusters, and a lot of our entertainment is appreciated and received worldwide for some reason.
Yeah.
Like
because it's good.
I wish like Japanese cinema was everywhere.
Yeah.
And then everyone like if I was in a culture that I know Japanese because I watch all of the Japanese movies. But it's not as pushed on us, whereas it seems like we do push our art out on everyone else. And I was like, I think in like 50 years when there's automation and everything goes to robots and stuff, I kind of like that America will still have its foothold in the artistic cultural expression of the world, kind of.
Yeah.
And that'll be what we get to keep and let manufacturing jobs go other places or let farming go to other places. And they were like, no, we're more than just that. We're not all YouTubers. And I was like, well, I'm not saying we're all YouTubers. I'm just saying, like, our art, for some reason, seems to be accepted worldwide and make an impression worldwide.
Well, I think we can do it all. Our country can. We can be farmers. We can be manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
We can develop and produce things and have our artwork as well. I'll do a quick plug for VidAngel. Are you familiar with VidAngel?
Yeah.
You are. How are you familiar with it?
I will do a side note later about the girl with the dragon tattoo because we talked about it and I said if we watch it with that,
Oh yeah, I've
it'll
told
be
you
like
about
12
it.
minutes long.
Oh yeah, that's right. Essentially, but there's several shows that me and my wife like, and we get into it, and we're like, man, this is a very intense show. It's so good, and next thing you know, they are cussing us out, and they are doing all kinds of porn. And like, what in the world is this?
I'd be curious what got on TV if we watched The Boys with VidAngel. Like, oh, these are real short. It's only 7
This
minute
episode cannot be played longer than 3 seconds.
Just have some guy walking in. Hey, I got your phone call. Credits.
But if you're not familiar with VidAngel, it's just like any streaming service, but it utilizes other streaming services. It filters other streaming services. I believe it's Netflix, Apple TV, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime, maybe Peacock, and essentially, so you can you sign in those accounts into your VidAngel account,
and you put your fetishes that you're into,
and you put in what you're not into, and it will filter out by category that's got nudity, sex, profanity, blasphemy, violence, drug use. And then when you click that category, it gives you a drop down list. You can cherry pick exactly what you don't want and what you do want. Now, you can do a global mark out, or you can say, hey, I don't mind the A word or the S word, but I ain't handling the F word. Whatever you can cherry pick it, or you can just say none of them. And it's been very helpful. So we get to watch these cool shows with good storylines, with great actors, without stuff that we're just not comfortable with.
I will say there was a Perry Mason series that was on HBO. It's very well done. It was like 2-3 seasons. It was so good. The first episode, less than 10 minutes into it, there is a morbidly obese to the point where he looks like he's a Marvel supervillain, like a Juggernaut.
Yeah, the blob.
Yeah, the Kingpin. Like he looks like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in that vein. And I want to say he has like a prostitute with him, and one or both of them are fully naked, and they're eating food off of each other. And that's a scene that happens for like a minute. And I'm just like,
too much.
I already liked a lot of the little bit I've seen of the show, but now you're taking me somewhere I don't know why we're here.
Yeah.
And it's just doing like...
It does seem like some of it is just
for the sake of it.
Gratuitous. It's just so unnecessary.
You know what I wonder if it is?
What?
I wonder if they're trying to do the clickbait of not keeping people here, but having people talk about something crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's probably in this day and age. It's so extreme. I have played some older movies that to me were like staples growing up, and then my kids watch them and they're like, "It was so slow. It was like it never did anything." And the movies made now, every scene is just jam packed, and it's like back to back to back. They know we have shorter attention span.
They know we're also
spans.
multitasking on our phone, so exposition is the entire time.
So I think they are really made better. Just they keep your attention.
Mm-hmm.
So to your point, that's probably definitely something they're wanting to do. Intentionally embed some shock effect to mark a memory, to get you talking, to get the marketing going.
But it's very well done. If you can get past that scene, there's rarely any nudity, any cussing later on. Like, there's probably a little bit in some episodes, but
Or you can just let VidAngel take care of all that for you and don't even worry about it. So
the side note
yeah,
about Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
yeah.
it's something that I've referenced earlier, but I brought my prop so I can explain it.
Okay.
A million years ago, I saw Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in theaters. I loved it. Like a year later, in like 2004 or 6, whenever it was, I was like, I'd like to own that. That was really well done. So I'm on eBay because that's where we were in society. And I'm looking, see a guy, he says he has it. It's like as cheap, give or take, as like buying it at Walmart. And I was like, I'll buy one from a dude. That way he can get my $20 and not Walmart. He sends it to me. Very authentic, real thing. Open it up. Looks good. Okay, it's got some extra stuff. What? What's wrong with that CD? What does that look like? Did he burn a CD version and keep the original? Is that Sharpie of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo on like an old Sony CD that you would burn that looked like this? So I emailed him back after I got it and I was like, hey, I got the package. Thank you for sending it to me on time. Did you take the real copy out and accidentally send me the burned copy? Because if you made yourself a copy before you mailed it, that's fine, I get it. But, and he was like, no, I sent you the only copy. And I was like, but did you? It's a burned copy. And I just wrote back like, I really have to stress, this is a burned copy of the movie. So maybe when you bought it, it was a fake copy. And like 2 days go by, I'm about to report them to eBay. Like, man, I don't even know what I should do about this. I guess I got my money, And then he sends me like an advertisement for the marketing campaign for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And because she's a hacker, this is intentionally looking like a burned CD. But you can look very close on one section and it says like brutal content, this and that, rated R. And it goes into, and like, oh, they don't have that on the Sony CDs that you buy from Best Buy to burn. So that was one of my lessons in life. To give grace, ask questions, don't accuse people.
Give the benefit of the doubt.
Because I 100% knew I was right. And was trying to figure out how to make myself whole with this purchase,
Yeah.
Like, just send me the real CD. I don't really care if you made a copy. If you want me to mail this back, whatever. But I felt like I was being shortchanged.
Yeah.
But if I had attacked him with that knowledge, then that would I would be being a butthead to someone who just did everything I asked of them.
Yeah. In this situation, just given the benefit of the doubt, it would have been the better course of action.
So that pops in my head tons of times in my life of, I really want to flip a table and call this out, but maybe I don't know everything. Maybe there's something out there that's gonna be the burned CD from Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
And I'll find
that's good. Well, that's great that you're using that lesson learned and applying it in other situations. What's interesting about this is you're talking about burning a CD. I bet there's a portion of this audience that what is a CD? Never used a CD. What is that? And burn, what does that mean, burn a CD? Why would you set the CD on fire once you got it? I don't even know what it means.
Us older millennials practice a pagan ritual.
Where you actually copy content from one CD to another CD.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay. Well, hey, we had a good talk.
Yeah.
We love America. Love our country. A lot of good things. All good things come from above. I think there's a lot of things to be thankful for, to be grateful for. Hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. Appreciate everybody.
Thanks for coming, and people are more important than politics.
Amen. Let's act like it.
Take care. Happy 4th. Something Eric said right before he made that suggestion that we should record this was, I feel like should have been maybe a little more patriotic. And I reminded him, we're not in North Korea. It's fine. Y'all have a great day.